What's up guys, in this video we're going to go over exactly what it takes to earn a $100,000 profit on eBay annually. We're going to go over the exact math, the exact schedule, and all the components that you need to build. Before we get into the video, last year in 2021, I'll put the screenshot right here, I did $2.3 million in sales on eBay, but many of you know that I actually got suspended this year in 2022 for not being able to provide chain of custody for Managed Payments. Managed Payments is the team that handles the payments for eBay. So when you're doing over $100,000 a month in sales, you typically want to know where your items come from, and since most of my items were high-end sneakers or sneakers from the flea market or the thrift stores, there are no receipts. I do not have a line-by-line invoice from a supplier. And typically at that volume you're more of a retailer, but this video is specifically about reselling, which is selling items for the second time. So I've been doing this for a long time. I've been talking about this for about 5 years on YouTube, and I'm probably the most respected resource on how to build an actual eBay business on YouTube. So I'm going to give you guys all the information I know in this spreadsheet. So again, please smash the like button, consider subscribing. Let's get into it. So I've broken down this into a few different sections and we'll go over them one by one. So the top section is where you enter in how much money you want to make per week. Now we're going to enter in $2,000 per week. For this experiment, we're going to take 2 days off per week. We're also going to take 2 weeks off per year. So this is only based on working 50 weeks per year and 5 days per week. So we're aiming at a minimum profit of $10 per item, which means you need to list 200 items per week. Now you can adjust this depending on what your profit margins are and how many items you're listing. Now, I like to go by working day, so Monday through Friday. I always take the weekends off, so essentially what you need to do is create 40 listings Monday through Friday and then launch 200 using the scheduler or using drafts on your days off. So that's really important. We're listing around 30 items a day, 7 days a week, but since we're only working 5 days, that's 40 per day. So you can screenshot this or make your own calculator, or we have this resource inside of our Patreon at patreon.com/theresourcepodcast, where we show you guys how to build an online store. But this is the math and mechanics part. Okay, monthly sell-through rate. I recommend 1% per day. What that means is if you have 100 items, you sell 1 item per day. Selling item at 1 per day allows you to, or 1% per day, allows you the money to reinvest in the new items. I do not recommend, if you're just starting, to sell items that take longer than that. So I'd rather you have a smaller store of items that sell faster than to just list anything. Do not list just anything. That is not anywhere on my channel. I don't recommend doing that. Only list specific items. In this example, you need 2,867 items in your store. So let's just round it off to 3,000 items. 3,000 items in your store, listing 40 Monday through Friday, $10 average sale price, 1% sell through daily. You will make essentially $2,000 a week profit. And it's going to take you on average 3.3 months to sell through your inventory. Okay, so this next section is actually your schedule and the exact things that you would do running an eBay store in order. So I have this all laid out for everybody. So customer service you do as soon as you wake up. You can do this multiple times throughout the day as well, which is responding to cases, returns, messages, sending invoices, offers to watchers, and relisting cancellations. So you would do that a few times a day. Only takes about 10 minutes. For me, even running a 24,000 item store, customer service really only took 20 minutes. The key is not reacting to any of the messages and just directly answering whatever people want. Don't react to lowball offers, just counter offer. Don't get flamed when somebody asks for a return, just say thank you, we have free returns, send it back. Keep your interactions with customers short, sweet, and to the point. So customer service is gonna take you about 10 minutes. And what we have laid out here is just the steady pace of doing this, not Olympic speed is what Tech and Sports, my partner, calls it, where you're doing it as fast as possible. We're talking about doing things the best way and selling the most things, which always takes time. You have to be patient. This stuff takes time. So on the left side of this chart, I'm going to show you guys the minimum speed that we show in the group. And on the right side is the maximum speed. So before we move on further, I just want to show you guys the hourly rate difference. In order to complete 40 a day at a steady pace, it would take you actually 11 hours. So this is including 4 hours of finding 10 items per hour. Now, of course, most people are more efficient than this. This is just a steady pace of doing eBay. And of course, most people don't even have the goal of $100,000 a year. You can cut this in half and make $50,000 a year, which is more reasonable, in 5.5 hours. Most people, that's like 34 hours a week. That's a very reasonable work. Assuming you work from home, you're getting rid of the commute. Assuming you get a post office pickup, now your job is mostly at home minus sourcing. So if you do this the fastest way possible, which is what my partner Tech and Sports has done, he wasn't trying to be fast. It's just fast because he's removed all the extraneous activities and it's just pinpointing down exactly what you need to do. He actually earns a minimum of $157 per hour doing eBay. So this entire process of listing 40 a day would only take 2.5 hours per day. So doing it inefficiently, but still at a steady pace, means 11 hours a day. And if you don't know what you're doing, there's no way you could list 40 items a day. So this process is in order for a reason. There's no reason to do it a different way unless you want worse results. We've been doing this for a long time. There's over 2,000 people in our group, and we've gone over this a million different ways. This is how you do it. Okay, so once you've done your customer service, you pick your items from your inventory system. We recommend a date-based system. You pack all your items, and you'll get to see here, because you'll enter in your calculator on your own and see where your bottlenecks are. What's taking you too long, you'll be able to determine it here. Now, what's glaringly obvious to me here is what takes the longest time is researching items. So people are selling items they know nothing about. And that's really gonna kill you, because it's going to take you more time to research what it is. It's going to take you more time to ship the item, more time to store the item, more time to find the item. If you're selling all things you know nothing about, there's no way you can make $100,000 a year on eBay. There's not enough time. You'd have to know something about that item to narrow down the scope, so you actually have enough time to knock out this much productivity. So the next thing that takes people the most time is a process we call reset to zero. And this is where you put everything back so the next day is easier. It's being proactive. So for your photography, you want to make sure that you have all your items that you're going to photograph ready to go. That means cleaned, prepped, graded, tested, whatever you need to do, repaired. Have that all done before the next day sweep. Take everything to the post office. So when you get to work the next day, you can go straight to work. So once you pick your items, pack your items, you print the labels. That process takes around 30 seconds per label. Packing items can take up to a minute, especially if you're building boxes. That's why in my eBay process, there was no tape. I just wanted everything that you could just peel off, poly mailers only. That saved me a tremendous amount of time never using any boxes. So photography takes about 1 minute to take the photos. That is including staging, but it depends on your process. If you also add a SKU, if you bag your items, that takes time. So I put in here a conservative estimate of 1.5 minutes per set of photos, but mechanically only takes 30 seconds. This is stuff that we go over in the group. Next is the research on listing an item. If you already know everything about the item, the price, all the item specifics, return policy, if you know all that stuff, it only takes 23 seconds to make a listing. This is selling similar off your own item. In our group, Tech and Sports shows himself listing about 11 items in around 7 minutes while talking about it. So obviously it would be faster if you didn't have to explain it. Myself, using templates, it takes about 1 minute. So those different processes, you can compare and figure out why your listing process might take longer, but the difference between taking 2 hours to list and 20 minutes to list is insane, especially if you compound that over the course of an entire year. So photograph everything, list everything, put everything back, reset to zero. Now, there's one difference, which is some people drive to the post office, some people have a pickup. I've scheduled 1 hour to do that. 1 hour to go to the post office, have some lunch, take a break, whatever you need. You can also split your break up throughout the day. And then finally, this part is sourcing. So sourcing online or in person, I'm giving people 4 hours to find 40 items. That's 10 items per hour. So as I make more videos, I'm actually going to show you guys me doing this at Walmart, Home Depot, Goodwill, Salvation Army, garage sales. I'll be looking for a minimum of 10 items per hour or $100 worth of profit per hour on the sourcing side. So hopefully this explains everything to you, but essentially what you're doing is you're making $37 an hour, working about 11 hours a day to make your $400 a day. Or if you're super streamlined, you're making over $150 an hour because you figured out everything. So I appreciate you guys. Please smash the like button, consider subscribing. All this information is outlined in our eBay white paper, which is a bonus for our annual members of our Facebook mentorship group. It's going to take you a while, maybe several years, to actually figure this out. I've been doing this a long time. I've been in sales over 20 years, and I've also been doing an online store full time for more than 5 years. So I appreciate you guys. See you next time.